Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is the 7th of September. Welcome to the Harbor community meeting. Let's get started. I'm sharing the document with our today's agenda. And then we can get going with topic agenda. And I think the first topic on the agenda for today, I'm doing a bit maybe out of order here, because we have released, as I saw today, Harbor 2.14. So congratulations to everyone for the release. Yeah, so someone wants to make a comment on that? Okay, no comments about the release. So you can take a look at the release notes to find out what is the what changes we have in the release. So I'll make a note here. 14. All right. Then we can go on with our other agenda points. So I think the first one in line was Prasant with the interview pipeline. Sorry,
Yeah.
Prasant, stage is yours.
Yeah. I don't want to take much time. So, quick thing is I have done like a demo on Playwright on the previous community meeting, and I also uh, gathered a few folks who are interested to contribute to the Harbor and also would like to help with the E2E pipeline migration and also the Angular update. Um, So the folks would be Meetika, Ramu, Kashyap. So these three of them are willing to do this. So my idea is to complete this E2A pipeline within uh, this release and also the Angular update. Since these two things go together because Angular update means a lot of E2E pipeline changes. So yeah. Uh, and the idea is to move the robot test framework from robots, like first in the first place, have the robot test framework and also have the playwright test because playwright has a better developer experience and then faster developer cycles and would
Sorry,
also
but
mean
sorry to interrupt, Pratham, but I didn't join in the last community meeting. But we use robot framework not only for UI test but also for the API test. Are you planning to migrate all the test cases to the new framework? I don't think we should have two framework running the test automation at the same time.
I mean, currently we don't have any. We have some robot test cases running but for the UI cases, uh, nothing is running on the GitHub Actions. Like I'm just talking about the previous internal pipelines that we have discussed. So
Yes, but the internal, but the internal pipelines we use robot framework for both UI and API tests. I believe Daojun has explained it clearly in the previous meeting. My point is, if you want to use a new framework to run the case, I'm okay with that, but you need to make sure it's for running both UI and API test, not only for UI.
yeah, Playwright is capable of doing that because Playwright has the shell access and also pretty much it comes with the entire
Yeah,
E2E
but that
package.
but do you
So
think do you have an estimation like how long will you finish this migration? Because it's been you've been proposed to do this for a few months, I believe.
I mean, I have created some PRs and it's currently on the preview phase. Um, all the thing I did was uh, doing some fixes on the robot cases and then running the robot cases on GitHub Actions. So that is still in pending. The only commands that is pending to implement is the webhook one, and then the other one which is with the scanner and CV. And
Sorry,
for the webhook,
sorry, but I believe you mentioned you are talking about moving the test automation away from robot, right? But then you say you are running a robot on PR, so I'm a little confused.
okay.
So are we using robot or not?
Currently, we use robot for the some cases. For example, API test DB, which is currently running in the GitHub Actions, that is running on a part of robot cases, right? So the DB test, which is currently running on PRs, is a part of robot cases, if I'm not wrong. So we already use robot, some part of it in the GitHub Actions, but not the entirety of robot test cases that we have. We only do a part of it. So
But that's on the PR. I mean, the goal is we need to run all the cases somewhere, either on AWS or somewhere to run all the E2E tests, right? That's the goal. It's not only to run some basic tests in the GitHub PR, because the end-to-end test took hours to finish. It's not practical or it's not realistic to run everything on GitHub PR. So I think the priority is that we need to somehow migrate the end-to-end test on the AWS or somewhere else, some infrastructure that already provided. And in that process, you're saying that the UI test triggered by robot is not very modern and you want to do the migration. I'm not totally against it, but I think it's not very, but I think it's not very efficient because it will take very long time for us to finish the migration. But if you are confident you can do that, I think you can move forward. But my point is, if we decide to use a different framework, we need to migrate everything to the new framework. We cannot have robot and another framework coexist and use it as our end-to-end test. I think if we want to complete the work, you need to complete all the migration. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I will agree with Daniel, given that I think we are adding scope, right? From previously we want to run the E2E on the AWS environment. Given that we're adding the UI automation, new UI automation framework in, right? So I feel we need a proposal, and we also need an execution plan for our review to make sure the refactor of the new automation framework, right, can not cause any regression with our currently already very stable pipelines. As well as I think if we want to switch automation framework, right, then I think we should have a bigger discussion. It's not that easy. I think rewrite a test is a effort, and also rewrite a test using a new framework require a lot of time to make it stable, and it is not a very easy task based on my experience. I think if you want to do this, let's have a proposal and review, then let's have an execution plan, see whether it will impact the next release or like whether we can split it into different releases to finish it. I think it needs a proposal for us to agree on.
Okay. So the one thing why I'm proposing to switch to Playwright is robot test framework is pretty slow and it doesn't have a function to run parallelly, which I mean it can't be able to run tests parallel and have isolated test environments. But Playwright already comes with that, so which means we already like trim down the tests like E2E running from Haas to just like 10 to 15 minutes to complete the entire ET cycle, because we do things parallelly and it can like do some kind of a matrix workflow. Like we can do much more with Playwright. So yeah, but the idea is not like to
So
completely
percent, I think we
throw
are
away.
not
So,
against the switch to the new framework. What we are saying is like while we switch in a new framework, how to make sure the current already existing test could be migrated to the new framework, right? I think before everything is done, we will not switch to it, right? Even we complete part. I think that's why I think we need a plan to switch, and we need an execution plan to say when we can complete the work. We are not against to
okay.
against, yeah.
So yeah, okay. Let's define what other things do we need to do this. Do we need a proposal or do we need a list of issues? So my general idea is to like this is feel like unknowing, and it feels like we are dodging it rather than like actually doing it. Since I already done some of the PRs and it is like waiting. What I thought was we are probably going to do from the our discussions is like add one or two cases and then like let it run for the PRs and then like add more and more like one by one, not like completely migrate all the robot cases and then have bunch of like 20 to 15 to 20 PRs and merge them together into a single release. I'm opposed to that. I want to do it step by step, like
yeah,
one robot,
so
and then like each
it's
robot
okay.
gets its separate PR. So it's like slow rollout rather than like doing it up like the entire change. I don't want that. So I just want to be clear.
But for example, in 2015 timeframe, you started this work. So in 2015, we will need to make sure we still trigger all the test cases using robot, right? Otherwise, we are not. How do we define the criteria for our release? The criteria for the release is we need to pass all the end-to-end test, and for passing the end-to-end test, I don't think it's okay to like, okay, 30% pass one on Playwright and 70% pass on robot and we release. That won't work. We need to have 100% test cases pass it either on robot or on Playwright. We cannot have the two framework coexist running our end-to-end test.
And we can migrate things to Playwright then. No issues with
Yeah,
that.
you can start migrating things to Playwright, but we do not remove the robot until you migrate everything to
What's the
Playwright.
point of migrating to Playwright when we can't remove the robot and we can't have coexisting?
Because when you we need to or you need to commit, you do it 100% on Playwright. One thing I cannot accept is we run the end-to-end test on different framework. That won't be yeah, that will be a messy situation and we cannot ensure the quality. I don't think I can agree with that.
Okay, so it should be
Yeah,
either
so you can, I mean,
0%.
we can have the situation that 30% of the test case running on Playwright, okay, but 100% still running on robot, and we use robot to trigger all these test cases, before we release and to
I mean, we
guarantee.
can draw a line between, right? So, for example, all the API test cases will be running on robot until it gets migrated to Playwright. But the major thing for the Playwright thing is we're going to need to rewrite all the robot test cases for this Angular update. And if we don't do the Angular update now, like, for example, we are currently 4 versions behind, which means we are currently at node 16 and it's already deprecated 2 years ago. And I may be wrong, but yeah, 1 or 2 years ago.
So yeah,
And then currently the latest node version is 24. Like 16, 24 is a huge difference. And if we continue with this, we can still continue. But after some point, there can be crashes, like the UI cannot be working or something, like it cannot pull some components because of deprecation and removal of packages because it's not maintained and things like that can happen. And it's very common in the NPM ecosystem. So it's better
so
to
I
be
think there
on
are,
the latest
yeah,
side.
so I think there are 2 layers, right? For the UI test case to work, we were using Selenium via XPath, and it was triggered by robot. So you're saying that there is a better technology to run the UI test, which is not based on XPath. So can we use robot to trigger the new way of running UI test?
I mean, do we really want? That is the question. Like, do we really want to sacrifice all those parallel things just to keep things with robot?
I cannot
All these performance
sacrifice the
gains.
quality. I mean, I cannot sacrifice the quality. If you can migrate 100% test case on Playwright in one release, you can do that, and we can remove robot. But that's not realistic, as you said. So we need to keep 100% test cases on robot. And
But when do we change then? That is the point, right? Like, when do we even change? Like, if we are going to like have this
by saying 0% or
100%.
Do you mean changing robot to Playwright, or do you mean changing the version of Angular? Which one you are talking about?
To do the version of Angular, we need to change all the robot accounts, like the robot test cases.
Right. That's expensive, yes, but I think to make the change in robot is easier to make the change to migrate to Playwright. I agree making the change.
No, because
Playwright
migrating Playwright is much easier than robot test cases, because the good thing about Playwright is we can auto-gen tests. We can
So are you saying we can migrate all the UI test cases to Playwright in one release?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe we can use that as a goal. We can try to migrate all the UI test cases to Playwright, and use robot to I think that's probably a little better boundary that we can trigger all the API tests via robot in this release. But in this release, we might migrate everything to Playwright and bump up Angular. But I really cannot agree that if there are part of the UI tests still running on robot and part of the UI case on Playwright, that's not okay. Do you agree?
Yes. My plan. Let me be clear with my plan. So for this release.
So Prasanna, I still propose you have still think you need to have a proposal and execution plan for us to look at, because while we reaching out to the like FCRC time frame, we need to review all the planned tasks, whether it will be complete or not. I think I know you had some idea, but I think I really need a execution plan to look at, and also your proposal to take a look.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of details, like how we.
Yeah, I can create a proposal to what are the things we need to change and things like that. But can we agree on this one? Like, the problem is XPath is tough, and it is probably not the best way to do UI testing, because if I do this for version, then the next version Angular comes and then it breaks, and I need to redo this thing again and again. But if I do it with sophisticated tools such as like I can do it with component-based or ID-based UI fetching, it is much more resilient to like this version changes, because it doesn't rely on the XPath, or it doesn't take things. And also we can integrate snapshot and other things, but I will include this in a clear, fine print proposal and I will submit it. But yeah, so can I change all the tests that have XPath in the robot test cases to Playwright? We all agree on that, right?
What do you mean by change? Are you going to add in some new code to rewrite the test, or are you changing the current test directly? I'm not that clear.
Okay.
I think one thing we want to make sure, right? So because if we don't change anything, right, our test currently run 100%, right? So I think currently what you plan to do is that, okay, let's keep the API apart, right? So let's focus on the UI part. For the UI part, right, so you have a plan to rewrite, to bump on the Angular and also add the Playwright test cases, right? So, and can you rewrite the whole test and to match in the existing cases? or you are going to directly change the current cases. I think we should do in like create a new one so that you know right what kind of percentage you achieve until the final release. We will do a comparison whether we hit 100%. If not, maybe we should delay the effort to next release. But you are changing directly the current code, right? So and then we have to delay the release until we fix everything. Otherwise, we will not know
Right.
how much percentage we will get.
So, okay.
Right.
So my question is, do we have 100% of it on the GitHub Actions? No, right? We don't have 100% of robot cases running on GitHub Actions.
100%. I mean, is
And
end to end.
I mean, it's not a blocker to run it on GitHub Action because we run it in the
available to the
in
public
the
to view.
internal Jenkins. I don't think we need to run every test case on GitHub Actions. That's the first thing. Second thing, I think that's Gordon's suggestion that we need to on GitHub Action. I never think we should run all the E3 tests on GitHub Action.
That's
never a goal.
Sorry, what?
I mean, that's never our goal to run everything on GitHub Action. I don't think that's
not in the GitHub Actions, but to be open to the public and public can view and edit the environment and
and that's at this moment for you to figure out because you propose it.
Yeah, and I am proposing it would be better if we do with Playwright rather than like
yes, but we need to make sure 100% UI case are running on Playwright, and before we have that merged, we cannot remove any robot test cases. And that doesn't block your work because you do not have the robot case running in your environment. That doesn't have any impact to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea is like I will the plan is not to remove any robot test cases. The plan is to add UI test cases that is running in Playwright. Like any robot test cases that is with XPath, I'm going to like create Playwright tests to supplement the robot test cases, and it will be run in Playwright and it would be fast. So we will have that, and once we are confident that Playwright is good, we can then remove the robot cases, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. That is the idea. So and why do we want to be that 100% or no merge? Like that seems too restrictive. Yeah, we can be lenient, right?
So the 100%.
The
100%. I mean, is the current already running past the one robot test, right? If you want to replace the whole thing, and I want to make sure the previous running tests are all have been converted, right? So that is the criteria when we release our hardware release. If we cannot make it down, and I'm not confident to to send this result.
Okay, I mean, like to the first PR, like for example, can I merge PRs with Playwrights? So that's the question. Like I migrated 10 tests, then I first merge the 10 tests and keep it running on the PRs or something, and then like I do this not just all the test cases into a single PR, but chunked up in different PRs and then merge it one by one. Is that workflow sounds good?
I think so. You will not change the existing test, right? The existing test can always be running, right? Or running.
But that no, sorry, but there's a misunderstanding. Let me clarify, Prasan. So when you say you merge a case of Playwright, is the case running on the new version of Angular or the old version?
It will be running on the old version first.
Okay.
Like we
okay.
Yeah.
So the flow is like first you merge the Playwright test case one by one until there's a a 1-1 mapping between robot UI test case and Playwright test case. Then you will in one PR you bump up the Angular and make sure the Playwright test cases cover all the Angular. I mean make sure all the Playwright test cases pass on the new Angular. and we will then we will skip the robot case for the UI test, because the robot case is based on XPath. After we upgrade to the new Angular, things won't work. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it sounds right, but I suggest we write it down as a proposal, because this is very important. We cannot risk that we have a PR merge to main, but we have no way to test it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our
Good,
proposal. Yeah, because I think your change is very fundamental, right? So I
Right.
feel,
Okay. Yeah. I will do a proposal then. Let's review it on the next meeting then. Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Good. Thank you for the discussion. So I think the consequence here is to have a proposal and then continue the proposal on that one. And I think running two things in parallel, while it takes more resources, I think it makes more sense for having confidence, and then switching one by one once we have enough confidence makes sense. But yeah, I think having a proposal is a good start into completion. Good. Then we have the next topic, and it's Daniel regarding the timeline for 2.14.1 already, 2.15.
Yeah. May I share the screen? I want to show the wiki page.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Yeah, I wanna again clarify the next few milestones in terms of the a few releases, the next releases we're working on. At this moment, we have GA 2.14.0 today, and in 2.14.1, we have started some work. Yeah, we expect it to be a feature complete by the end of this month. Maybe we slip like a few days, but generally, we wanna GA the 2.14.1 in the mid-October, or in October this year. And meanwhile, for 2.15.0, yeah, to continue with the 4-month release cadence, yeah, we had some internal discussion, and I'm proposing that we have the feature freeze milestone by the end of October, and we have feature complete by the end of this year. By feature freeze means before feature freeze, the maintainers will label issues any candidate and triage them, and some candidates will be moved to targeting 2.15.0. We continue this process until the feature freeze milestone. At that time, we make sure there will be no more issues with 2.15.0 candidate. Either the work item will be kicked out of 2.15, or it will be selected as targeting 2.15. But before that date, I mean, maintainer can add the candidate labels if you want to work on a few issues and you think they're important, and we can continue this communication and to make sure we have a concrete list of work items we want to deliver in 2.15. And after the feature freeze, we focus on what's planned and deliver the features, make sure we reach the feature complete milestone. And after that, we run tests and RC, like all the stuffs, and we try to GA in January or early February next year. Vadim, does it make sense to you about the plan?
Yeah, I mean, from my side, sure.
Yeah. So if you have any issues you think are important to you and you want to work on it in the 2.15 timeframe, now is the time for you to add the candidate 2.15.0.
Yeah.
We have started the work, but at this moment we are pretty overloaded. So there are a very short list of the 2.15 candidates. Yeah, we expect this to grow over time in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so Prasan and Vadim, if you have anything you think are important, please feel free to add this label if you want to work on them. Yeah, so that's the plan and milestone for 2.15.0. Yeah, I hope I explained it clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Then let's jump back to our
Yeah.
documentation. Is that screen? The next topic on the agenda was regarding the garbage collection proposal.
Right. Right. I think this is improving the garbage collection performance is something we consider important and we really want to deliver in 2.15. So Vadim, I think we need to discuss to clarify this disagreements, and I'm trying to reach agreement with you on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I am not so against it anymore, right? I mean, like under the condition that we can like move all other things also with the time into the database, right?
Yeah.
Because like currently we have just one part we're doing via the database and one part we're doing directly on the S3 buckets, right? So like this the iterations, and I think the GC part is one step into the right direction, but we need to move all the way essentially, because at the current state, when this is implemented, we have let's say the storage is kind of like our Harbor instance is depending partly on the storage and partly on the database, right? Because some of the lookups is doing on the buckets, and some of the lookups are done on the database. And if it's just partly kind of for a short time, it's okay, but we need to move then the whole way and move everything to the database, right? So the lookup and all the logic move to the database and only store the blobs then on the storage. And then we have
Jan, yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong, Jan, but I think for the lookup Vadim mentioned, I think we are 100% relying on the database as of today, right?
I think what it is means that the tag deletion action in the garbage collection, because we call the API of the distribution to delete tag from the backend, but in this API, we still leverage the lookup of the distribution service, right?
Yeah.
But if we remove this step, yeah, we will not rely on that. So we will only look up tags based on the database.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think in your option 1 and option 3, as I added comment, we need to combine these two options, because option 3 makes sure that I mean option 1 makes sure that when we deliver this feature, the old users will have this immediate performance gain. So we want that. We want that option to skip the tag deletion during garbage collection. But for future data consistency, I think option 3 makes sense, that we do not, in future, we do not land the tag file in the backend at all.
So you mean that we do both option 1 and 3, and in the phase 1 we do the option 1, and then in the future we do the option 3. Then.
I think we can do both in 2.15, right? I mean, because option 1 is not like very different from option 3. They are solving the problem from 2 perspectives. Option 1 is.
But if we decide to do the option 3, that means we do not land any hack file in the storage. So so why do we still need a option to let user to decide whether to delete a tag from storage?
That's for
We do
the
not.
historical data. I mean, if there is because there are already a lot of users using hardware for a long time, and they suffer from garbage collection. If we do option 3 only, they run garbage collection. They are dealing with the old data, and yeah, the old data. We are still trying to delete the tags without option 1. It will be very time consuming.
No.
So
But
option 1
you mean that?
would be, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. So you mean that somehow in some future releases we will remove the option, I mean the option 1, because maybe okay, I got
Theoretically,
your
we
point.
can delete option 1 in certain time in the future, but we will never know if there are old data.
Yeah.
Maybe we can delete the option 1.
Yeah, I got your point.
It makes sense, like for the users to be able to benefit from option 3, because there's a lot of data out there that is not possible to delete at the moment. And option 1 would solve this problem for them.
Yeah, got it. So yeah.
I think you need to add the option 1 thing into option 3, right? I think doing both option 1 option seems really weird. It should be orthogonal, right?
Yeah. I will revise the proposal.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, from my side, like when we say that this is just, let's say, one step towards the final solution, and I'm fine with that. That's okay. Then we have everything in the database. Then we can do the lookup in the database during deletion, and then we have a really performant garbage collection and all that sorts. It's pretty much similar to what we have, what we will have with GitLab. GitLab container registry is working also the same way, right? So we're gonna get close to that.
Yeah.
Prasad?
Yeah. I would just like to add on to that. So regarding the GC part, the tag is only, I believe the tag is only a part of the problem, since when looking at the distribution of time that's spent on like the GC run, it's mainly stuck on the deletion phase. We need to like not do the parsing on the distribution side. And as Vadim said, this is like only one part, and there is much more to update on the GC side, because the entire process, I feel, because when the registry gets pretty huge, the GC gets stuck on the database lookup. But that it isn't like completely reproducible now, but some users complain. We can also find issues on Harbor that it is there. So yeah, just to put it out there.
So you're saying that even we implement this proposal, users still see performance issue in database?
I mean, the performance issue on database has nothing to do with tags that is in the S3 or not, or like the storage layer, right? So, I mean, we need to have a better connections between like what tag and what digest. So it should be like a single or series of operations. I need to take a deeper look into like how GC is implemented, and in the database, from the database looks of it, it feels kind of clunky in the sense because it takes some time based on the registry size and the number of tags people have and the images. And this is much more seeable when users have small images, but the number of small images is pretty high. So yeah.
So then, Yan, I think it's worth revising the proposal to clarify that this proposal focus on the storage side. And
Yeah, sure.
as for the problem Prasan mentioned, I think we need more investigation, and that may justify another proposal or another PR to fix. But Prasan, I think to better understand the problem, if you have an environment or there's you can write up an issue, we can together to debug on that. But generally, I recall Vadim opened a few issue regarding database performance, but then Stone spent some time to debug and saying this is not a real issue, right? There's some deadlock, or I
Yeah,
recall you
the
mentioned.
deadlock is different from this. I mean, the overall GC way is different.
And deadlock is
I
something,
mean,
yeah.
different, yeah. We don't want to like include deadlock into that because that's a different problem. Like what I'm saying is
Okay.
the way the process the GC goes and the like the queries we do to the database, it's in a slow way. Like and I don't see any hard links between the artifacts and the layers in the DB, and no indexes are true in the DB. If we can something like have something like that, but yeah, because GitLab container registry, like GitLab's own kind of thing, has this thing, and it is pretty fast because they have this clear structured OCI distribution spec, which in this case, like which artifacts as child repos, and they also do track cross-reference in its own table and rows. So when they see an artifact is deleted, and they can like just within 2 queries or 3, they find out the blobs to delete, and it is pretty quick. And Harbor takes some time when doing this queries. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting. I think, yeah, I think, is there a no issue open? If not, Prasan, could you please go ahead and write an issue? I think in general, everything that is helpful for improving the performance of garbage collection is relatively important to us because we have users when using Harbor, in a longer time, they have seeing issues in garbage collection because there are too much data. So yeah, maybe there are some smarter way to organize the data to make the query to database more effective. I think we definitely can look into that. So please go ahead and write up an issue, and yeah, and we'll definitely follow up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Then we have this topic.
Yeah, that's also from me because that's something we wanna fix in 2.14.1. For this issue, there's a community user open an issue about the proxy cache when he's trying to pull image via proxy cache in parallel. But his proposal, we have some different opinion because his proposal is trying to use a singleton to control the concurrent pull to the same artifact. But as Stone mentioned in the latest comment, we should not limit to only one connection, but allow that a configurable number of connection to pull from the upstream for the same artifact. Actually, yeah.
Which pull request are you?
Yeah, this one is the issue, and if you scroll down, there are two PRs related to this issue, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one is proposed by the community user, but we do not know how to reach out to him. Stone added a comment, but we don't see him replying. So Vadim, if you, I'm not sure because he requested you to review it, so I'm not sure if you have some communication offline. But
okay, I'll try to reach out to him and see if he's available, and then we can try to resolve the
just
problem.
let ask him to take a look at the comment, and see what he think about the other PR.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this PR is this is from you solving the same problem, right?
Yeah, but we give it more flexibility that we can control the number of the concurrent connections rather than limited to one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can set up a connection, maximum connection on a project level.
Okay. This is the upstream is meaning the connection to the proxy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Upstream. Okay, yeah.
yeah. The original limitation is based on the artifact, so it can limit the how many concurrent connection to a single artifact. But currently, I think maybe we have a requirement to constrain the maximum connection to the upstream registry in total. For example, when I running a performance test about the product cache, I launched a hub in AWS EC2 instances, and this resource in this instance is very limited. When there are 500 connection and proxy to the upstream, then the upstream registry instance may be going down. So we have to limit the maximum connection, the total of the connection in the proxy cache level. So I add an environment to so that we can switch the limitation. By default, it is based on the artifact level, and then we can change it to project level.
So
By
this,
project level, you mean the namespace level of the upstream, right?
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
If you have any comments, please leave it
Okay,
in the-
that's interesting. I'll take a look at this one.
Yeah.
And try to figure out with the user if he can take a look at this one.
Yeah, that would be really helpful because that's something we want to fix in the 2.14.1. We have some requirement from downstream regarding the proxy cache, so we really want to have a proper fix in the next patch release.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. I'll reach out and see if he's responding. Okay. Then the last one discussion point was regarding the ARM release, and this is the PR matching that one.
Hello.
Hello, Rani.
Hi, Vadim. Yeah, it's been long I've raised this PR and yeah, I don't get any comment or reply on it. So I just want to check in with this.
Oh yeah, the conflicts, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, once this is done, I mean, this actually, if you go to the top, this is the.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, this is the step one, which I've planned to put here. So I have a plan of adding up next PR like step two, which would be like tools made like art neutral. So where I'll be looking on, I mean, like I have few changes on migrate chart spectral and yeah, exporter. So after that, step three would be like releasing this all for multi-arc. So goal would be something like build, store, and test both arcs in our release pipeline. So in that case, both online and offline checks would be definitely passed because right now only offline were green and online were not. Because for the online checks, it's actually pulling from the Docker Hub, so which today only exists for AMD 64. Yeah.
Okay.
Jan, I
But
think
can
follow
we
up with this one.
can we move in step 1 and without any effect, like without any impact before we move?
Impact for the current branch.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you just go to the files changed,
Yeah, I've saw that one. Yeah. Yeah. This is the.
I mean, Rani, you can also like submit
Yeah.
the step 2 built on top of that
Okay.
step 1. And so when we merge these two PRs, there wouldn't be no test failing, because currently I see some tests are failing in the step 1 PR you made. When we merge this into the main branch, it would when people create PRs on this new branch, they will see like ARM64 is failing, and
Okay.
it would make others.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
suffer.
I'll do that. I'll raise the other PRs today, so you can have a look on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This will be
thanks.
really good, because then we have this one working. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just
Thank
do
you.
a PR on top of this branch, and then
Yeah.
that's what.
So that we
Okay,
have
sure.
this one. I mean, we should not commit broken pipelines.
Okay, got it. Sure, I'll do that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I think that was it for the agenda. Are there any other topics, ideas, points to discuss from the community? If not, then I would say we're done for today, if there are no other topics. Okay, it seems like there are no other topics. Then I would say we're in time. Perfect. Thank you everyone for your time, and see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Better.